Wait, look at this shit. We are taking pictures for NayFitnessUniversity.com. Get your 28-day challenge. Get your supplements. Get all your stuff. Follow me at I am NayFit on Instagram. Follow me at NayFit on YouTube. I'll let you. What up, Fit Gang, and happy holidays, happy Kwanzaa, Merry Christmas, happy Hanukkah. Hope everybody had a great holiday. I did for sure. So today's video, I wanted, because it is the literal 1-year anniversary of my breast augmentation, I wanted to do a video because I didn't get to do one originally. I've had questions literally over the last year. I get asked like every other day about my breast augmentation, like what I had done, did it hurt, what implant did you go with, what profile did you go with, what set did you go with, everything like that. So, you know, I wanted to get on here and not only give an update, a review, but also like tell you about the process, because it's really important, especially if you're going to spend this much money, and because it is an invasive surgery, you really want to make the best decisions you can make going into your surgery. So I'm just going to start with why I got my breast done in the first place. So I didn't get my breast done for a man. I didn't get my breast done because I was insecure about anything or anything like that. I just got them done strictly because I wanted to. For people who've been following me for a while, they know that I started lifting weights. I started getting into the gym in 2015. And I also started competing that year as well. So before that time, I was a double D. I had nice, full, little cleavage boobies. They sat up really nice and everything like that. And I had not one problem with my breasts. So for all my fit ladies who are into the gym and everything like that, you already know one of the first things to go are the tatas. I don't know why. I don't know what it is, but they're usually the first things to go, unfortunately. And as I got deeper and deeper into competing and dieting harder, my body fat percentage kept coming down, and my breasts kept getting smaller, So I went from a double D to like a small C. Nothing wrong with that. A small C is still a nice little rack, you know, and I've always had perky boobs too. So, hey, you know, it wasn't a big deal. I was competing really hard and just really into it, so it actually really didn't bother me at the time, because not only was I losing fat there, but I was losing fat everywhere, so I was leaner, period. And so it really wasn't a big deal at the time. And so I competed, and then after my last show, I went pro in 2016. After my last show in 2017, I decided, like, okay, I'm done with competing. But I didn't even at that point rush into getting my breasts done. I actually gave my body time to recover. I literally took 9 months off from lifting, training, working out, and everything, so that my body would have the opportunity to put some fat back on, because for me, my body is prone to being lean. If I don't overeat, if I don't increase my caloric intake, it's hard for me to gain weight, honestly. So I had to literally stop working out so that my body had the opportunity to thicken up, or whatever you want to call it. So I stopped working out for like 9 months, and of course my booty came back, thighs got thick and everything like that, and I was super happy with those results. But what didn't come back was my breast. So a little bit. I went from a small C to a big C, to a larger C. And not a problem. They were still cute. They were still good and everything like that, but it wasn't the look I was going for. And through training and everything, as you develop your pectoral muscles, the breast, your pectoral muscles, the breasts start to actually separate and get wider apart. So a lot of women always ask, hey, if I lift weights and stuff like that, will it make my boobs perkier or bigger or anything? And it's a no on that one. It actually is going to separate the breast. And so I actually don't train chest at all, me personally. So I decided, okay, you know what, I'm gonna go ahead and get them done. So I went ahead and I made an appointment in probably the end of November, beginning of December, and I decided to get my boobs done on December 28th, 2018. Okay, so I made my appointment and I did a lot of research, and I wanted to pick the best doctor. I think that is so important to look at the doctors and multiple doctors before and after so that you can compare the results. You want to see, what kind of post-op pictures these women have, what their scarring might look like, what their results look like. Did they take them from like, a very small size to a nice, pretty, natural size that matches their body, or all of their, results really extreme, like from an A cup to like a G cup or something like that. You want to make sure you take that into consideration because you want to make sure your doctor has your best interest and has the kind of results that you're looking for as well. I wanted my results to look natural for my body type and for my size. And so I picked the doctor in Arlington, Virginia. His name is Reza Kordestani. He is amazing. I love him. Like, nice, beautiful, bougie office. He was very polite, very professional, and very informative as well. So I felt like any question I had, he was able to answer it, and he was able to show me like why things were this way and why things were that way and why you should do things, this way or another. And I was really appreciative of that. So after you make your first appointment, you're going to go in for a consultation, and at your consultation, they're going to take measurements. So they're going to measure your breasts. They're going to take pictures from the front and the side because they want to see, both sides, because they want to see your symmetry, where your breasts set. Nobody is completely anatomically correct or symmetrical on both sides, so don't feel discouraged by that. One boob may be lower or higher than other due to like your muscle and everything like that. If your muscle is more bound on one side, your one breast may sit higher, one may sit lower. It's not a big deal. You may have more breast tissue on one and one less in the other, which is also going to determine whether or not how many cc's they're going to put. They might put 500 cc's in one and maybe 520 in another just to even you out or whatever. So that's really important. So they take your pictures from the front, the sides, and everything like that. And then they're going to sit down and ask you some questions about what it is that you want. And so this is what I decided. So first things first, you're going to choose between silicone or saline. Saline has a capsule and it's going to be filled with a saline solution. And then you're going to have the silicone, which is a different kind of solution inside of it. The silicone is more natural feeling than the saline solution because we obviously don't have water in our breast. They're not made out of water. They're made out of mammary glands and tissue and fat and things like that. So the silicone is going to feel more natural. But not only did I go with silicone, though, I also chose to get the gummy bear. So that's really important. If you're wanting to get the same kind of results that I got the gummy bear silicone implants. They're supposed to be the most natural feeling. They're really soft and they just feel like a breast, So I went with the gummy bear. And then the next thing you want to know is what kind of profile do you want? Do you want your breast to be higher profile or do you want a more natural sitting profile? And for me, I was like, okay, I'm about to drop $5,600 on them things. I want to look like a little hot tamale, you know what I'm saying? I want to look like hot tamale. So I was like, I'm going to go with the higher profile. And so I chose to do my implants over the muscle. You can choose to go under the muscle or over the muscle. I went over the muscle, and he explained to me like a lot of models or porn stars and things like that. Those are women who show their breasts, and their bodies are their work. So it makes sense to use them as an example, but they usually go with the over the muscles to get the higher profile. I noticed in the pictures and things that I was looking at when they went under the muscle, of course they were more, they sat very, very natural, as do they with the higher profile and over the muscle. But under the muscle, they're going to sit more natural. And to me, they sat further apart as well, though. So they didn't have the as extreme of a cleavage, sitting closer together, and the higher profile cleavage that I was looking for. I want to be able to not have to like do all this stuff to, you know, get my cleavage going on. Like literally, even without a bra, I still have cleavage, and that's what I was going for. So I chose to go over the muscle. In addition to that, though, when you go over the muscle, your recovery time is going to be a lot less. I honestly had zero pain after my surgery. I didn't have to take my pain medication, and I literally went to the gym the next day. My doctor had a slight heart attack about it, but I was able to go to the gym the next day, no pain at all. So going over the muscle was a great decision in my opinion. So you can choose go over the muscle or under the muscle. Then you choose, of course, what kind of implant, silicone or saline, and then they want to know how large you want to go. So for me, of course, I didn't know like what 300 cc's was, what 400 cc's, what 800 cc's was. I didn't know obviously what size that was going to be, but I just told them what I wanted to look like. I told them I wanted to look natural for my body type and my size, but I wanted to have a nice little cleavage, and I obviously wanted to be bigger than what I was at the time. So we went with 550 cc's in both of in each one of my implants, so that I could go up to, I knew I did want to be a double D though. I knew that much. So that came out to 550 cc's in each implant. And so I went with the gummy bear silicone, 500 cc's, 550 cc's, and over the muscle to get the look that I have right here. And I'll insert a bunch of pictures. I'll insert before I had my breast done. I'll insert the picture of the day after, and then I'll put in, you know, obviously you see what I look like now 1 year later. That was my experience with my breast augmentation. I'm gonna tell you this right now, it's the best $5,600 I've ever spent in life. I would do it all over again times 10, not a problem. I had an amazing doctor. He was very smart. He was very professional. The office was clean. Like, I don't play about that kind of stuff. If you're going to cut my body open, like, I want to know everything is new, sterile, clean, everything, very professional staff. And so I had a really, really great experience. I recommend, like, just make sure you do your research and know exactly what you want. And do not be afraid to ask questions. Fuck all that. Like, you can't tell me nothing about, like, somebody cutting my body open and all that stuff, or me laying there on a table, you know, vulnerable and able to, like, you know, control anything. Like, I want to know what the hell is going on. I want to know who these people are. I want to, you know everything's clean and I'm going to be safe and everything like that. So ask 100 and 200 and 300 questions if you need to going into the surgery, because it's an invasive surgery and it's really important to know what's going on. So don't be afraid to ask questions. And if you have a doctor who seems annoyed with you asking a question or something like that, then you can miss me with that. You know what I'm saying? Go find another doctor, find somebody who is comfortable, you know, you're comfortable with, who is professional, and who allows you to ask any question you want to ask. So that's really important. Now, let's see. I didn't have any complications with surgery. I haven't had any complications with my implants at all. I even forget I have them because, like, there's just no problems. They don't get in the way. They don't do anything like that. The only thing that I feel like, if I had to say anything bothered me through this process, was like maybe the first couple weeks. Every once in a while when I would be sleeping, like, I would roll over and things like that and kind of just, like, forget they were there and couldn't figure out why I couldn't get comfortable. I'm like, ugh! Like, they would drive me crazy sometimes because they were just, like, there, and I'm like, okay, I can't get my arm right, and just trying to, like, figure out how to, you know, sleep and everything like that. But I wouldn't trade it for the world. I wouldn't take them out. I wouldn't do anything like that. I would definitely keep them. But for maybe the first couple of weeks, I was like, you know, they're just a little in the way. But they honestly don't even get in my way when I'm working out or anything like that. It was just kind of a sleeping thing. But let's see. Yeah, so silicone gummy bear over the muscle, 550 cc's. That's what I went with. Dr. Reza Kordestani in Arlington, Virginia. Amazing doctor. Don't be afraid to go out of town to get your surgery done. Don't be afraid to go to a whole totally different state to get your surgery done if you live in a small town. Don't just go with the first doctor you see just because that's the first doctor you see or that's the only doctor in your town. That does not mean you have to go to that person. F all that. Go find somebody good. Go find somebody professional. Go find somebody with a lot of experience and with a portfolio. Nothing wrong with that. And make sure you doctor, not doctor shop, but like, yeah, like find out which doctor, review multiple doctors. Don't just go with the first one you see and like, oh, his results look okay. If you have girlfriends who've had their breasts done or friends or family members who had their breasts done, be like, yo, can I take a look? Can I see? Because it's important to like, see results and like understand and know what you're getting yourself into and see if those results are the kind of results you want on your body. There's nothing wrong with that. For especially black people, I know black people have more of a tendency to keloid, and so you want to make sure if you do easily keloid or anything like that, make sure you ask your doctor about that, because you don't want to have scars in certain places, and you just want to know, what you maybe can do to avoid it, or if you can at all, and just make sure you have that discussion with them too. I personally do not keloid, and at this point, I'll see if I can take a picture of it, of my scar. My scar, my incision is under my breast right here. And I honestly, I'm dark skinned, so I never notice it. I don't see it. And you'd have to be literally all up in my business. You'd have to literally be my whole man to even notice it or pay attention to it, because it's just like never exposed or anything like that. I remember like, a month or something like that after my surgery and everything, I noticed that. I was like, okay, that's where the incision was or whatever. But to this day, like, it really must not be that noticeable, and I don't even pay attention to it because I don't think about it at all. But if I can, I'll try to take a picture of it so you can see my scar or whatever. The stitches that they put in there are dissolvable, so they're just gonna, dissolve by themselves. So I didn't have to go back in and get them removed. And also, there was a follow-up appointment. Went back in, checked in with him, make sure your incision's clean and not infected. Other than that, though, like, best $5,600 I ever spent. Easy. I didn't have a problem with my surgery. So yeah, if you have any questions about it, I will answer them to the best of my ability and my knowledge. If you need any type of recommendations or anything like that, I can help you with that as well. And yeah, that's it. So leave a comment, like, comment, subscribe. Definitely subscribe. It's $3.99. It's $3.99 to subscribe. Hang out with me. Come see some of my videos. I love answering questions. Talk to y'all about anything. If there's any videos y'all want to see or anything you want to know about me, let me know. Leave me a comment here on YouTube. Send me a DM at IamNateFit on Instagram. I'll leave that here too, so you can see it. I'll insert some pictures as well, so you can see the process or whatever. And yeah, any questions you have, anything you want to know, let me know, and I'll let you know what's goody. But anyways, like, comment, subscribe, click your post notifications and turn that on so you know every time I post. What's good. And yeah, love you guys. Happy holidays.